Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in another Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about different playstyles in Fortnite and which playstyle is the best to use, whether that would be going for high kills, going for wins, or a little bit in between. Maybe you want to go for like a 10 plus win, a 9 plus kill win, just anything in between, or maybe you want to go for a high kill and a win. I'm going to be talking about everything and breaking down different situations in this gameplay in which I did play really fast, and then some situations where I had to play a little bit slower. And before we get into the video, I'm going to be doing a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you have to do is to drop a like on this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on my notifications, and leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And lastly, I just recently launched up a second YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing stuff like highlights, 1v1s on that, and I'm going to be giving away those V-Bucks as soon as that channel hits 1,000 subscribers. You guys have been killing it with the support, so make sure you guys check out that channel and give it a sub. The link for it will be at the bottom of my description, or just check the pinned comment. I will have it on there. So make sure you guys drop that a sub. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so for this gameplay, it is a 16 kill duo gameplay, so a pretty fast paced gameplay, and I'm going to be breaking down a lot of situations in here and give you guys some tips and tricks when it comes to playstyle, and just different situations where you want to play very fast or maybe you want to play a little bit slower. So first off, my normal playstyle is I usually play really aggressive, but with that being said, that doesn't mean I play aggressive in every single situation. But for those of you guys who've been watching my videos for a while, maybe the past few months, you guys will know back in the early days I used to be playing very passive. I used to play just for wins, but I kind of got over it. I kind of got bored of just sitting around, playing really slow every game, dropping those passive drops. So now I'm pretty much going tilted every single game, and I really think I've improved as a player very much just by doing that, just going into a lot of gunfights, just going off and slaying out every single lobby. But for those of you guys who don't really want to go for a high kill game, or maybe just want to go for a win, you kind of want to have a little bit of both. A really good drop to do is somewhere where you want to go, and it really depends on where the bus location is. And say the bus location goes from like Paradise to Pleasant. The whole idea, and typically it's pretty true, is when it comes to a bus location or a bus route, more people are going to jump off right at the start than at the very end. So if you want to go for something with maybe a little bit of kills at the start, you don't want to run into like every single team. What you want to do is you want to land either halfway through the bus route or towards the end of the bus route. That's where you're going to find maybe a few teams, like 1 or 2 teams at most. You're not going to find a whole lot of people. If you want to go for some crazy high kill games, or you just want to run into every single player, or if you just want to run into half the lobby, all you want to do is just jump out right at the start or tilted. One of those two drops are going to be, the best places to go for high kills. And this player absolutely lazy me. Look, I hit so many tags on him, and the gold scar just absolutely just ripped right through my health. And a lot of times in duos, for most of you guys who don't already know, you definitely want to play as aggressive as you possibly can after you get a knock, probably 99% of the time. And because I knew that guy was pushing up, his teammate was down, so I already knew I need to play very aggressive on that player. And he actually almost got me just because he had the scar, and he just headshot and body shot. It just ripped me up all of my health. So he almost got me there, but he really shouldn't have. But you always want to play very aggressive in a duo game or squad game after you get a knock. Well, depending on if you get a knock, you're going to have a lot of time to heal up. Because if it takes 10 seconds for someone to go for a revive, once you get that knock, you can build up and then pop a few heals. Or you can play really aggressive on that second player, because the second player is always going to try to go for the res most of the time. And when it comes to going for wins in Fortnite, there really isn't like a best way to play, honestly. Because there's a lot of different ways you can play. For this season specifically, I'm a really aggressive player. I have a high kills per match, and yet for this season, in Season 6, I still have a 44 win percentage, so I'm winning a fair number of games, and I'm winning a lot more games than a lot of people who are just camping in boxes with like 1,000 or 2,000 wins, which is honestly kind of sad that I can win more games and be more consistent winning, going to places like Tilted Towers and first drop off the bus, than people who have like 1,000 plus wins and they camp in a box for the entire game. If you really just think about it, that's actually kind of pathetic and kind of sad. But at the same time, that does prove that there really isn't like a best way to play style when it comes to going for wins. Because a lot of people, when they play passive, they usually play too passive. And by the time the late game hits, a lot of times they're not even going to be warmed up. They're going to get sweated on by the last few teams. And they're probably not going to have the loot that they want. If they're playing passive the entire game, playing really slow, maybe you only have 2 kills each. They're not really doing too much. I mean, sometimes I have games like that where I just can find absolutely nobody. I try to go anywhere, and usually I don't end with like that little kills, but maybe like a 6 kill game or a 5 kill game, just because I'm just not finding enough players, or I just can't get enough kills. But one thing that I do notice when I do play aggressive, I said it in different videos, but when you're playing aggressive, you're going to have the best loot in the entire lobby. And the main reason for that is you're going to be able to kill people. And if you're killing off like 10, 12, 13 people in a game, you're almost guaranteed to have max materials if you can kill them fast enough, because they're going to be dropping a ton of mats. You're going to have scars, the best shotguns, SMGs, pretty much every single loot that you can have. And right here is a prime example. So these guys just picked up the other guys that were right here, and we played really aggressive in the situation because we knew they were pushing over to grab the loot. We weren't sure if they were weak. There was a chance they would, but they ended up weren't. So we went up there, we got the kills on them, and I pretty much had max wood the entire time. They had a ton more wood back there, but I was able to get 500 more brick, pretty much as much ammo as I can need. There was some more minis, some more shields. I got a launch pad as well. So you can just see how playing aggressive on certain players, you're really going to benefit from it. You're going to get a lot of good loot, and that's how I'm able to win so many games for going with high kills. It's just because my guns are just a lot better than the other players. That doesn't mean I'm going to win every single time, and I've definitely beat a lot of people only having M16 and they have a scar. So having the better gun doesn't mean you're just going to automatically win, but it definitely is an advantage if you have a scar over someone who has an M16. And just having a lot of mats in general is definitely going to change the way you play. And also health is another big factor. And you play more aggressive, maybe not in the early game so much, but maybe later in the game if you play really aggressive, you're going to have a lot of minis left over. But in early game, I've had so many early games where I've walked out with like 6-7 kills and had no shield. Just because if someone's landing at each one of the houses, you're only going to find one house, and if there's extra shields, people are going to pop them. So you're really not going to find a lot of extra shields in the early game, but when it comes to that mid or late game, that's when everyone's going to be stacked, dropping all of their mods, dropping all of their shields. So in my opinion, the best way to play really is just maybe a slower start, get that shield up, and then immediately after that play a lot more aggressive, and then just go for a lot of players, look for a good third-party opportunities. Because I've had so many times where I've had third parties, and then after I get those kills, once I wipe out the team, there's so much loot that I can't even carry. So slow starts with an aggressive mid, and kind of like, well, late game is kind of, it really depends on where players are, if they're camping on hills. Really depends where they are, so there's not really too much I can say about that. The mid game, playing really aggressive in the mid game. So a slow start, an aggressive mid game, and in game, just depending on how it is. You know, you might want to play aggressive, you might want to play slow, but I'd say that is definitely the best way to play when it comes to consistent winning. Because I've seen so many players play so slow, so passive every single game, and still only have like a 30 win percentage. And one other thing to note when it comes to playstyle, and when you're playing a little bit slower, you're gonna have a lot more options. And keep in mind, when it comes to choosing how you want to play in games, you really have to decide based on your playstyle and how you're playing and the people you're playing against, what kind of playstyle is best. And I know a lot of you guys, sometimes I feel the exact same way, is sometimes I really don't want to challenge any gunfights at all unless I have some shield, or maybe some backup shield, just have a little bit of health. And then there's some times where I just want to go all out aggressive. I don't even care if I have any health, because the more health you have, the more mats you have, the lot more options you have. Because if you're low on mats and you're fighting a team, you have to play aggressive no matter what. Because the last thing you want to do is have the other team spray at you and you have no mats. Because at that point, you're pretty much dead. You're not going to have any chance to win that gunfight. And here in this situation, this is a good example of me playing a little bit slower. Because I was fighting that team, but I was getting third party by another team. And once you get third party, you have to really be careful. Especially when you're going for the other team. Not the team third party, but the team initially that you're fighting at. You have to be careful which angles you peek at. Because they're going to try to get shots off at any opportunity that they have. And here was a good example of me playing really aggressive on this team at first. But then I backed off a little bit because my teammate went down. And I went for the res on my teammate. And at the same time, after that, I made sure that we got our heals off. So when we go back into this gunfight, we're actually going to have health. Because if I would have just got for the res and then immediately pushed without having any of my health back, probably would not have been that good of an idea. Because the next time that I'm going to be running into them, they're probably going to have their health up. Because the guy's going to have their res off. And it's going to take me time to get over to them. So if they have heals, they're definitely going to have them already off. So it would have just been smarter to play a little bit slower and just grab my heals off. And then go for the aggressive push. Because like I said, I was getting third party earlier in the gunfight. So luckily they didn't rush us. I don't know why most teams would rush after third partying like that, because they get really hungry for kills, or they just sit back on top of a hill and just camp it out and spray. And after that gunfight, I got a gold P90, and as well I had a little bit more mats. Now I have almost 2,000 mats, so I'm pretty stacked going into this gunfight. I'm lucky that guy didn't hit me with that sniper, because it would have done so much damage to me. Really would have screwed me over. My teammate was fighting another team, and when it comes to these situations, when I'm fighting a guy 2-on-1, I want to try to get as much damage off on one player as I possibly can. and then try to focus on. Unfortunately, one of the guys ran away, and that's the guy who's building up. I lasered him at the beginning, and now I'm tagging for even more shield. And since I know this guy is low and his teammate's already knocked, I'm going to play as aggressive as I possibly can on this guy. Just kind of had to do it to him with a little bit of a saucy edit play. So here we go. I have 14 kills. There is going to be one team left. And at this point, I'm stacked. Look at my mag count. Pretty much max. I have every gun I can use. A porter 4, just in case I get screwed over, I can just build up. I probably had campfire, had like 8 traps. At this point, because I was playing so aggressive the entire game, by the end game, I'm completely stacked. I have every single gun that I could possibly want. So I'm over here throwing 3 traps down to get the knock on that player who was at the bottom. Hit his teammate for 39 shield, hit him again for 63. And at this point, normally I would play really careful, but this guy wasn't that, top tier player or anything. So if I would have went down, I know my teammate would have clutched it up for me. Otherwise, I probably would have backed off, just played my heals, and then challenge again once I get my health up. But anyways, guys, that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope this video helped you guys. If you could, make sure to drop a like on this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And as well, subscribe to my second channel if you haven't already. Link will be in the description below. And alright, guys, I will see you in the next video.